All right, we're back. Coach's Corner number 38 today, talking about communication methods. How do you communicate with your parents, with your players, and your fans? And I think as an older coach, one of the things that I've successfully or unsuccessfully, depending on who you talk to, have is how communication methods have evolved in the 35 years or so that I've been involved in coaching. I'm old school enough and go back far enough that we communicated through snail mail. We would do a mailing in the spring to all of the parents of the players that had signed up for football with a packet of summer schedules and information about football that they needed to know. Put stuffed envelopes and addressed envelopes and licked stamps and did that whole thing. We also made a lot of phone calls. Old school phone on the wall phone calls. We utilized our local newspaper, small town here in Michigan. We had the Leslie Local that was just focused on the city of Leslie and the very handful of surrounding communities. And so we were able to communicate about our program through the local newspaper. And then we had personal meetings. We'd have sign-up meetings and pass out packets of summer schedules and, team rules and all that kind of stuff, just had to schedule a personal meeting, very, very old school. Now, new school, things that we've taken advantage of. Social media obviously is a great way today to communicate with particularly your fans that can follow either your team's page or your athletic department page on any of the various social media platforms, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is. Email is a great way to communicate, and we'll talk more about email, lessons on email that I've learned at the new school that I'm at as athletic director. There's a multitude of apps to use, and we've used, when I was at Jackson High School, we used Band as a way to communicate with players and parents in particular. But there's also Remind, and there's Heya, and there's a multitude of different apps you can use. Team, I don't even want to speculate on the other ones. Those are the ones I know. E-meetings, one positive thing that came out of COVID is a way to communicate and meet without personally being physically in the same room, whether it's using Zoom or Google Meet. It's a great way to communicate and meet together, whether it's individually or as a group, without having to physically come to the school or come to the same physical place. And then, the Google Suite, whether it's Google Docs or Google Classroom or a multitude of other Google applications are ways to expedite communication. So the last message I want to give you about communication is, and I don't know why this in 33 years prior to coming to my new school at Western High School, it just never occurred to me. But one of the things that they started long before I got there, so I can't take credit for it, is every coach and every team, whether it's, varsity all the way down to 7th grade, does a weekly email on Sundays, typically, to keep people updated on what's going on in the week to come with their team. And it's a great way to stay in consistent contact with everybody in your crew, whether it's players or parents, to let them know about schedule changes, remind them about practice time, remind them about issues with your team. Just a great way to stay in consistent contact, and provides an opportunity for them to respond back and ask questions, and just a great communication venue that they do at Western, and it's a really cool deal. So think about how you're going to communicate with your team, with your parents, with your fans, and have that plan in place and ready to execute. And I think you'll be in a good spot. So hope you got something from this. If you did, like it. If you know somebody that you feel like could benefit from this, share it with them. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Coach Scott Farley, and we'll keep sending these good messages out, getting good information out to young coaches. So have a great week, and as always, keep being that coach your kids need you to be. All right, take care.